that's the thing. The running option or the kicking option last time didn't do much. Didn't give any dividends. So maybe they'll have a run.
Yeah, because they've got stronger numbers here on the left. I'm surprised they went to the right, seeing that.
Or the drop option.
Yeah, or the drop. Oh, clearly, they like the pressure. So that'll be a scrum.
He was looking where he was going to boot that before he actually caught it. So unfortunately.
Yep, Forrest Gump. Eye on the ball.
Eye on the ball.
So yes, a very, very good attacking platform here now for the Dragons, just on the 5 metre line of the Vikings.
Yeah, the difficulty here is where obviously you haven't got any flankers in this the 5-man scrum, so your scrum half is quite pivotal on where he goes. If he can take the first 5 out, 5-8 or fly half, if you call it, and hold him, then there should be an overlap.
Yeah, you can see the Dragons have lined up very, very wide there, looking to get the ball out quickly if they can, but that's a very impressive scrum by the Vikings.
Yeah.
Have awarded the scrum to them now for a knock-on by the Dragons, but very, very good defensive scrum, very strong.
As we said before, there's a 5-man push against a 4-man push and a hook, so it's a little one-sided with their extra power, I guess.
And they're not as big as some of the teams that we've seen in this competition, so they can't rely on that weight factor neither. They've got to push everyone into this and give it everything they've got, haven't they?
Exactly.
Can't relax.
Once again, they're relying on the boot down the field to get out of the danger area.
And do you think that was a strategic thing to keep the ball in play as opposed to hit it to touch?
Well, yes, I do actually. I think that's quite a important thing. Is then we you up in force with as many players as you can to obviously block the running back, or the back person at the back running back. So yeah, you just basically long kick forward and get as many bodies past the opposition as you can.
So the Dragons now looking to attack again. They've been on the front foot a lot in this first half. I think the Vikings haven't got out of their half yet.
Not yet, no.
They're still taking the ball forward there.
And there's the penalty there for the Dragons.
So one-on-one there, he decided to make the right play, hold out, not rush in and get himself isolated. And then the linesman's given a penalty, I believe, for a offside, I guess it would have been.
Showed great strength there.
It's great power there by Raphael there.
Supported by his CC mates.
He got a bit of momentum, pushed the legs, kept on pumping, and got the try.
Yeah, great body position actually.
I'm sure the Vikings will be a bit disappointed that they didn't take him down. I think you can see on the replay they were looking to rip the ball before actually getting grips with the player.
Exactly.
Great facial after he scored then as well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The try scorer's facial feature.
Almost like a character from Rocky. So he didn't make the kick there. That's 5-0 to the Dragons at the moment. Just over a minute left in this first half. So it's the Dragons now about to take the kick off to the Vikings. Be interested to see how they play this. You've seen a variety of different kicks used. Some, high just past the 10-metre line just to contest. Others deep in.
That's right. Just to compete. Hopefully get that ball back. But that one went a bit long, didn't it? So it's a free kick on the halfway. Well, maybe that's we can see what happens now and there. Hopefully we can run the ball rather than kick.
So Irish Vikings are a regular competitor here at the GFI Hong Kong 10s. Big fans of the competition, come here regularly, and as ever they're looking to improve and grow their squad. Always seem to have a good bit of a following when they do get here, which is great to see.
It's been quite surprised to see how many games they play in the season, because obviously there's probably not a big league or in Shanghai.
Yeah, no, I think it's growing there now. There's supposedly a big investment coming through from Alibaba. I'm going to be investing quite a bit of cash into the development of rugby in China. And of course then you've got the Chinese government as well looking to grow football and things like that. So there's a big injection of cash there, and plans to develop a sport, both football, rugby and everything else they can, really.
Well, good sign for rugby overall.
No, definitely.
Referee calls for half-time.
So that's half-time. First half finishes 5-0 to the Dragons against the Vikings. Still very even game, could go either way.
Yeah, a lot of possession, I say, with the Dragons, but saying that, yeah, it's a bit cliche. A game of two halves, and the Vikings look quite strong, and they're a little bit there at the end.
So what do you think will be the difference, what they're saying in the huddles now, compared to the Dragons versus the Vikings?
With the Dragons, I would say, rather than a kicking and the exit plan of kicking the ball, I'd like to see them run and go through their processes. Take it from the 5 meters from one side of the pitch to the 5 meter on the other, and stretch the Dragons. But key is keeping the ball, keeping the pill in their hand, and they let the Dragons have that chance. But they're saying that with the Dragons, they've seemed to put a lot of pressure. Keep that pressure going.
Yeah, I think the Dragons certainly going to try and keep the ball in hand and keep possession as much as they can.
Exactly.
In this. They seem to be quite confident in their attacks and really happy going forward. I haven't seen that much of them in a defensive point of view in this game, but it'll be interesting to see how it changes in this half. It's great to see now as it starts getting to closing business hours here now in Hong Kong. Start to see more and more people come down to the Hong Kong Football Club to support the 10s and the fantastic teams we have here.
Yeah, I say it's a great event, and it's been going for many years. Actually, I don't know what date it started actually, but it's
36 years ago, I believe it was.
6 years. Ooh, it might be a bit longer than that.
36.
36. Okay.
Yeah.
So you said 6 then. Excuse me.
Although the newest addition we've got started from last year is the after party, which takes place on Thursday. Tickets still available on Ticket Flap.
Ticket Flap. And what does that entail?
Free flowing drink and an opportunity to mix and meet the players and all the supporters here with fantastic live bands.
Excellent.
So we've kicked off again now the second half.
So those people thinking of whether they go to the rugby or not, I think you need to get themselves down here for a
certainly should.
Bit of a shindig.
Oh, it's fantastic. Great evening. Great way to really finish the 10s and then get ready for the 7s taking place Friday, Saturday and Sunday.
Exactly.
So there's a handling error there, I believe, by the Irish Vikings, just outside the 22, giving the ball, giving a scrum now to the Dragons, which gives them a fantastic opportunity right in the middle of the park, just outside the 22. And their scrum was a lot stronger and steadier than that.
Held up, maul on. More call by referee.
Keep the momentum going forward, get that ball down, and they should be able to get that back. No?
Yep, so turnover.
So do you back them to run it from here, or do you think they'll just try and get the pressure off and just get it into touch, or even just try and get the Dragons turned into their own half?
I'd like to see them run it, just to see, maybe play two or three phases, and then bring up the players, any back players at the back who are floating around the back, number 10 there. I'd like them in a little couple of phases going left to right, and hopefully bring him into the game, and then boot it long if they need to.
It looks like looks like you've got your wish there. They are looking to run it. Well, I thought he might have backed himself there. Looked like he had a bit of pace, but didn't fancy pinning his ears back and going for it.
Okay, they've created themselves a penalty, which is a head-high tackle. So
I've had a few messages from friends across the world. We've got John Aikman over in Guatemala and watching this. We've got the legend Bally Bally watching it over in LA.
Nice one.
So
welcome. Welcome to the Rugby Boys.
Yeah, thank you for tuning in from across the world.
And we've got one or two people from, I think I mentioned before, was Hamilton, New Zealand. Steele Williams used to be playing for Kowloon back in a couple of years ago. I think he was keen, sent us a message saying wishing all the best.
Yeah, and I know we've got a number of players that have played in Hong Kong throughout the years, back in the UK. They're watching this as well, so good morning to you guys. So there's just 6.5 minutes now left in the second half. Still scoreless this half. The Vikings are looking to put a little bit of pressure on now with a line out taking place just outside the Dragons 22.
They're slowly working their way up the field, aren't they? Yes.
Yeah.
A few penalties has changed the game a little bit.
Well, the Irish Vikings, I'm not sure how many of them are from Ireland, though.
What's in a name? So what do you think their next minimalising mistakes? I think is quite key, but
I think they'll hit this. They'll look to spread this one out wide now. We saw a gap, went for it, and actually it was a very good step that he took there first of all to get in there, got it back on the back foot. There's a big overlap here on the right for the Vikings, but they were just delayed getting the ball out quickly. Hence the penalty.
Yellow card coming in here, not back 10. Yeah, unfortunately, it's with a yellow card. It's because it's a possible try, so the referee has no choice.
So the Dragons will be waiting there for the next 3 minutes, playing with 9 men against 10, which in this game makes a huge difference. That one player off, well, the spacing that they're going to get now, they should certainly score.
Is that a hold up? We'll have a look there.
Yeah, I think the linesman felt, sorry, the referee and the linesman actually in the goal area felt that it was held up, so it's going to be a scrum on the 5 metre line. So the Vikings have looked a bit stronger in the scrums during this game.
Yeah, and actually, obviously now in their 22 with a great scoring opportunity.
Yeah, so they should. There'll be a man down in that scrum now because there was a player taken off, or in the sin bin, I should say.
Some big hits going in.
It was a glorious sounding hit, that was, wasn't it? Could hear that in the commentary box.
Exactly, all the way over here. Give it.
Yeah, and I think that just goes to show that was a great try there by the Vikings, really making the most of the fact that they had an extra player there.
The Irish Vikings take it over to tie this one up.
Yeah, that was a great result for the pressure from the Vikings, and that is what it was all about. It was the pressure that caused the sending off, which then allowed them to get that overlap with obviously less numbers in that team.
Well, I think it's always going to happen in there as long as you're patient and structured with the ball. A gap's always going to open up because no matter how good the defence is, they can't keep covering that area.
Yeah.
That gives them the lead. 7-5 over the Devils.
So that was a great try there by Matt Daly, who's from New Zealand, and his first ever GFI Hong Kong 10s. So the Vikings took the kickoff, put it back deep into the Dragons 22. We seem to be a big fan of running the ball, which we like. Looking for the opportunities, trying to make a gap, especially with the 9 men. I think they've got to keep the ball in their hand and try and maintain possession as long as they can, especially with being a player down.
Well, that was a great steal there from the Vikings. sensible play. They put more player to the
Oh,
breakdown.
fantastic footwork there.
That was a very good time.
That was a fantastic try.
Just like that, there's another for the Irish Vikings.
Certainly twinkle toes on number 11 there. Unfortunately, I haven't got his name on my team sheet, so. A fantastic bit of footwork on there. Clearly been watching Beauty and the Beast, picking up a few of the dance moves there.
Irish Vikings 12.
Twinkle toes.
Well, the great methods for thinking, but downstairs is just dancing. Yeah, that's it.
So that brings the score now to 14 points to 5 in favour of the Irish Vikings. Just coming up to 4 minutes left in the second half. So the Dragons with the ball deep in their 22, looking to play this out.
As you said, recently their exit plan was just to run it. Unfortunately, it's come a mucker actually from.
So the referee's looking to reach to his pockets to give a second card for the Dragons player.
For holding on the run through. So.
Renaud Louis for obstructing the player off the ball, holding them back, and as you said, possibly preventing the try, hence the yellow card.
Exactly, support player coming through. So the Dragons are down to 8.
They got the other player back on there, so they're back to 9.
Oh, they've gone back, have they?
Yeah. So this should be the last. We're coming up to what will be the time of this game, so this could possibly be the last play. A very strong attacking position for the Irish Vikings. Will no doubt want to capitalise on this. Just to finish the game on a high and go into the next game very, very confident. So that's the end of the game. This one finishes the Irish Vikings taking the game at 14 points to 5 versus the Shanghai Silver Dragons.
Which brings us up onto our next game, which is the Penguins.